I can't lie, I feel blessed. I can't lie, I feel blessed.
Welcome to another episode of the Sports Fashion Podcast. I am your host, Deeflamez. Uh, Follow me on Instagram, Deeflames_flames with a Z. Follow the podcast at Sports Fashion Podcast on Instagram, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Now that we got that out the way, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I watched the new Kong versus Godzilla. I'm going to go ahead and let you right now. If you haven't seen it yet, pause this podcast, go watch it, and then come back. I'm giving you guys a spoiler alert right now. My first reaction review of the movie. It was a very good movie. I definitely give it a 7 out of 10. Excuse me, I give it an 8 out of 10. From the trailers, I thought that Scar King was going to be more ruthless. I thought that Scar King was going to be on demon time, and to a certain extent, he was. So for the people that don't mind spoiler alerts, basically the story takes place. Basically, Kong is in Hollow Earth, as you guys know, and basically it starts off with him being lonely. The Gia, the girl from Skull Island, the girl that was amongst those people, the one that does the sign language, y'all know who I'm talking about. So apparently she has the same telepathic powers as the monsters do. So she can feel, she can sense. Y'all probably saw it a little bit in Kong versus or Godzilla versus Kong, the first one, where she was able to know that Godzilla was on his way when they were trying to take Kong across the water. But pretty much in this one, she's having these terrible dreams. She doesn't know what it is because she doesn't know that she has these powers. So pretty much, she's like the queen of her people. She didn't know that. By the way, they're going to discover that there are actually humans in Hollow Earth that's been there way before time. Basically, the backstory is before humanity and all of that, Scar King, Shima, and Godzilla went to war. Shima is pretty much the cold version of Godzilla. So you know how Godzilla can go nuclear and get extremely hot. Pretty much Shima is the exact opposite, get extremely cold and stuff like that. Apparently Shima going nuclear the way that Godzilla can go super nuclear and get bad and destroy the planet. Shima went super nuclear and basically froze the whole surface world and put them in the ice age. And pretty much Godzilla had to go nuclear after he defeated Shima and Scar King to go nuclear just to warm the world back up so it can go back. Which makes sense because Godzilla's whole thing is he brings balance to the world. So pretty much Scar King is a chimpanzee that enslaved all of the gorillas and chimpanzees, all of them. What I don't like is they don't explain how Kong stayed on Skull Island and never went back to Hollow Earth. So during the movie, you're going to see there's going to be a part where they're going to show that all those big red hand marks that you saw on Skull Island, Kong Skull Island on the mountain, all of those were made by Scar King. So they're insinuating that Scar King and Godzilla fought on Skull Island. But they don't explain how Kong stayed and got left on Skull Island and stayed there. They don't say that. But basically, Scar King imprisons all the gorillas, and pretty much he has them down in Hollow Earth. Now, a lot of people think that Scar King did that all on his own. So originally, back thousands of years, Scar King, this is the backstory of Scar King for everybody that don't know. Scar King is one of the original Titans from back in the day. Pretty much Scar King back in the day imprisoned, or I ain't gonna say imprisoned, but enslaved all of the gorillas, all of Kong's people, and pretty much made them into his army, and he wanted to take over the surface world. Um, Scar King, Shima, were allies. Scar King had, and you're gonna see in the movie, Scar King had some type of device. It was similar to Kong's axe, how Kong's axe kind of like can keep Godzilla in check. You know what I mean? Scar King has like a crystal that keeps Shima in check. But the way Kong doesn't use it to control Godzilla, doesn't use it to abuse Godzilla, Scar King uses it to control Shima and make Shima pretty much into his own protector, into his own pet type deal. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so pretty much, way back in the day, Shima was basically a prisoner of Scar King and was his watchdog or whatever you want to call it, enforcer, and pretty much both of them end up going against Godzilla. It almost killed them, but Godzilla was able to defeat both of them back then. So what Godzilla did was in Hollow Earth, he imprisoned all of the gorillas, Scar King and Shima, pretty much on this. It's pretty much like an island in Hollow Earth, and he burnt off all of the surrounding land. So he pretty much made them an island that they couldn't escape. And over the years, Scar King became more ruthless on the gorillas. Scar King imprisoned them, enslaved them, and Scar King pretty much all this time has been hell bent on finding his way back to the surface world to try to take it over. So pretty much that's what the movie's about. Um, the first fight between Kong. This whole movie is trying to search for his family. The little chimpanzee from or gorilla, whatever it is, from the trailer. Um, all of them are enslaved by Scar King. All of them are in fear of Scar King. So when Kong meets the little guy pretty much, you know, pretty much is loyal to Scar King and tries to set Kong up to get jumped by other gorillas. Kong ends up beating their ass. He tries to set Kong up to get attacked by this giant snake. Kong ends up killing the snake. So when the little guy sees that Kong is defeating all of these other titans, he still has an allegiance to Scar King. But what won him over is, although Kong knew that the little guy was setting him up, Kong continued to give him grace. Kong gave him food. Kong treated him the way, a big brother or a way a king should treat his people. And so he won over the little guy. So Kong was able to convince the little guy to show him where he's from. And the little guy took him to the island, um, to the island where everybody was enslaved. Now, I know you guys are probably asking, well, Deeflamez, you just said that they were enslaved to an island, they can't get off of it. So over the years, pretty much, Scar King had been killing whatever in that land, whatever was there, Scar King was killing them. The only thing that Scar King wasn't killing was the gorillas, and he was still killing a few of them, but he had to leave enough to still have his own army to enslave them. So pretty much, Scar King was able to kill some type of Titan and use that Titan's body and spine and bones as a bridge. So that's how they was able to get out. So the little gorilla takes Kong all the way to the lair. When he gets there, all of the gorillas see him, but they're so scared of Scar King that they're not going to be on Kong's side. They look at Kong as the enemy because they're scared and their allegiance to Scar King. Now this is where I say that Scar King was a bitch. So they fight the first time, and it wasn't really a fight. It was more of Kong hitting him, he dodging. He did scratch Kong on his hand with the little chain thing that he got made out of bones. You know what I mean? But Kong was really about to beat his ass type deal. Kong hit him one time, whatever, and then he backs up. So when he backs up, he's arrogant and he starts to laugh at Kong. and Kong's beating on his chest, doing the screaming thing, like letting him know what it is. You know what I mean? But what Kong didn't know is that Scar King had Shima locked away, chained up. You know what I'm saying? So he laughed at Kong, and then he told the other gorillas to unlock the shit for Shima. He used a little thing that he has that can control Shima through pain, and pretty much Shima attacks Kong, and that's what happens to his arm. Shima attacks Kong and pretty much freezes his arm and does a bunch of nerve damage and shit to it. Long story short, Kong uses his axe, gets some room, gets some time, and then the little gorilla that brought him there showed him like his own little path to get out. Fast forward, he gets out. Kong finds the humans. They see that he's hurt. That's where the whole glove come in, and it fixes his nerves and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it gives him extra power. So like now, like kind of like how in Marvel, Tony Stark, how he made the machine where he can make his when he made the big Iron Man and was fighting the Hulk, and he had the shit that where it could make his fist go super fast when he was punching the Hulk on the ground, telling him to go to sleep. Kong's big ass glove can pretty much do the same type shit. You know what I mean? So, but away from Kong, Jaya, the little girl from Kong Skull Island, I told you guys that she was the queen now. So they find off Hollow Earth, and then they end up finding more of her people. And pretty much it's her people that basically show her that she's the queen. And so pretty much, because she's the queen of her people, but then her counterpart as a Titan, I want to say Gomer. I want to say that I sound wrong, but pretty much the big butterfly from Godzilla, King of all monsters, the big butterfly, who's the queen of the monsters. So pretty much they're intact. So the only person that could wake her up was the queen of those people on the island. So pretty much when she gets down to Hollow Earth, all of those people talk telepathically. So, they telling her all that shit, whatever. So she ends up waking up the butterfly. The butterfly ends up like, I'm basically on some, I'm gonna help you type shit. So after Kong gets his little gauntlet shit or whatever on his arm, the little girl tells Kong, like, yo, you gonna need some help. Like, you gonna need some help. So she tells him to go get help. Kong immediately leaves, goes back through the portal to the surface world to get Godzilla to help him. Now, this is probably the funniest part of the movie. When he gets up there, Godzilla's gonna send some. So when Godzilla gets to him, Kong is imagine you telling somebody to calm down, and how you're tapping the air with both of your hands, like you're telling them calm down, chill out. Kong's doing that, and Godzilla don't care about none of that. So Godzilla basically goes after Kong. Pretty much they fight, whatever. Kong beats his ass the first time. So Kong, I'm talking about, he beat the brakes off of Godzilla. No cap. He beat the brakes off of Godzilla. And knocks him out. And as he's dragging him back to the portal to take him to Hollow Earth, Godzilla wake up on some shit and then attack him. You know what I'm saying? And then Godzilla wins that. And then when he's about to win it, the butterfly, the queen, she comes from Hollow Earth and hits Godzilla and knocks him off. So Godzilla gets up like he's ready to go, and then he sees her, he chills out, and then everybody knows that the Titans, they talk telepathically. So so pretty much the queen tells Godzilla, like, nah, this ain't the enemy. You gotta work with him. You need to go down there and handle Scar King, like Scar King is back type shit. So pretty much they go back. Pretty much Godzilla and Kong go back to Hollow Earth type shit. They start the fighting with them. You know what I mean? And then they end up finding pretty much something happened with the gravity. You have to watch the movie. Again, this is just a review. You know what I mean? But but something happened with the gravity in the Hollow Earth that all of them were getting pulled to portals. So they all got pulled to portals. They end up being in Rio de Janeiro or whatever that place was called. They end up fighting. So for the people that's wondering, okay, Deeflamez, like what happened with Godzilla? Why he pink? So as I told y'all before, Shima is the opposite of Godzilla. Last time they fought, Shima went whatever the code version of nuclear is, right? And it almost killed Godzilla. So pretty much before all of what I'm about to tell you, before all of that, throughout the movie, Godzilla is going to different nuclear points and absorbing all of their energy. So then he ends up going into the ocean, and there's some Titan in the ocean who is like super nuclear, nothing but energy type shit. And so Godzilla first he attacks all the nuclear stuff. You know, it's insinuated that he attacks all the nuclear sites in the world, or the ones that that Monarch knows of. And then he goes to the ocean, goes against that Titan in the ocean, kills them, and goes into that Titan's lair, which is nothing but energy. And so he soaks up. So pretty much, basically, the transformation was from him breaking the barrier of radiation that he's ever absorbed. You know what I mean? So he definitely broke that barrier, and then he becomes pink. I'm gonna be honest with you. The transformation was lackluster. It was rushed. There was no build up to it. Like, it was kind of just like he went into the lair, he laid there, and then boom, when it was time for him to wake up, he was pink. There was no build up. So if you think that there's gonna be this monumental build up shit, it's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that it's not. But pretty much basically they end up fighting. Like I said, they end up going to Rio de Janeiro, whatever the place called. End up fighting. Throughout the fight, the little shit that Scar King was using to control Shima, the little gorilla that helped Kong find all the apes, ends up destroying it, ends up breaking that little piece that Scar King was using to control Shima. So after that, pretty much like Kong beat the brakes off of bro. And when I say he beat the brakes off of Scar King, it's not even close. Like, when y'all see the movie, y'all gonna say like Scar King's a bitch. Bro can't fight. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro can't fight. And that's the part that I thought like it was gonna be crazy, because in the trailers it looked like he could fight. Like, it looked like he was really about that action. He can't fight. One-on-one, Kong is getting him the fuck out of here. I'm just telling y'all what it is. Kong is getting him the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much at the end, like, so basically Kong ended up beating his ass, and then it's funny because Kong let Kong let Godzilla and Shima in on the action. Like, Kong beat his ass. He threw him over toward Godzilla. Godzilla turned around and hit him with his tail like he hitting a baseball. Then Kong, when he has his enemy, he always grabs him by the neck and holds him up in the air. So he does that, and when he do that, Shima freaking freezes Scar King, and then Kong basically slams his body on the ground after his whole body's frozen, like solid, and breaks his whole body into pieces. And pretty much y'all can guess it. Kong returns to Hollow Earth, and he returns on the back of Shima. So that symbolizes like all the Kongs know, like, oh shit, Scar King left with Shima, and Kong is coming back with Shima. So they already know, like, it's so pretty much all of them, like, now the fear is gone, and they acknowledge Kong as their king type shit. And that's how the movie ends. Freaking Godzilla goes back to wherever I forgot where they was at. I want to say France, but goes back and lays down in one of them arenas, the gladiator arenas that's back in the day, them ancient ones that's still standing. Like, Godzilla goes there and lays down and goes to sleep. Like, it's weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? But overall, the movie was dope. I give it an 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Upon review, definitely some parts I feel like they should have definitely tapped in to. They definitely missed the opportunity to show how Kong got left on Skull Island in the first place. They didn't talk about where Kong was during the ancient fight of Scar King and Godzilla and Shima. You know what I mean? So they pretty much like talked about it, but they ain't really go into detail about it. So yeah, overall, you know, Kong and the Kong Godzilla movie, the new one that just came out, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I would give it an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? So if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go see it. It was a dope experience for me. I went and saw it, so I think you guys will enjoy it for sure. Moving right along though. So now we're gonna talk about some basketball, man. Basketball. NCAA tournament is crazy right now, both men's and women. I'm gonna be honest with you, the women's tournament is definitely more exciting than the men's tournament. So we're gonna get into it. Like obviously, you got the Caitlin Clark, she's doing her thing. Shout out to the freshman at USC, Juju Watkins, I think her name is. Yeah, Juju Watkins, she's going crazy. Big Foe, Flajay Johnson, Angel Reese, they doing their thing for sure. You know what I'm saying? The day that this is being recorded, Notre Dame just lost. You know what I mean? So that was a tough one. You know what I mean? South Carolina just won. South Carolina almost blew it. I ain't gonna lie. South Carolina they blew a 17, 20-point lead, something like that, and almost blew it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely been entertaining for sure. You know what I'm saying? Notre Dame, like I said, Notre Dame going down, that was definitely a surprise. You know what I mean? I think that Hannah, the freshman Hannah for Notre Dame, she gonna be nice, yo. No cap. She gonna be nice for sure. I am looking forward to a potential Angel Reese, Flajay Johnson, you know what I'm saying, matchup with Caitlin Clark. I'm looking forward for something like that. Stanford went down, and this is all women, right? Stanford went down. Cameron Brink, you know what I'm saying, she was nice. She didn't have the best game. She shot 6 for 13. You know what I mean? She didn't have the best game, but you know, tremendous career at Stanford. Tremendous career. I wish her nothing but the best going into the WNBA. You know, she just declared this year. Again, I'm from North Carolina. Stanford lost to NC State. I'm not an NC State fan, but I'm from North Carolina. You dig what I'm saying? So I told y'all in episode 1, Duke was my team in college basketball, men's and women's. Duke not there. So with that being said, I'm going to go for the North Carolina team. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go with the North Carolina team. So I want North Carolina to win, you know what I mean? But I look forward to, you know what I'm saying, seeing, you know, who comes out the champion in the NCAA tournament. I wouldn't mind seeing Caitlin Clark capping off her tremendous career and with a championship. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing South Carolina win. Dawn Staley, you know what I'm saying, I love her to death. Like tremendous, she was a tremendous talent, and now she's showing that she's a tremendous coach. You know what I'm saying? UConn, people are really sleeping on Paige. You know what I'm saying? Let's call it what it is. People are really sleeping on Paige. Actually, I'm lying. Duke is still in it. I'm tripping. I'm wilding. My Duke girls play UConn tomorrow. I'm out of control thinking that they lost. I'm out of control. To be fair, I follow the more entertaining teams. The girls team is just because they're Duke. I'm more of a Duke men's basketball player fan, but I love the girls team. My favorite player from Duke in Duke history. A lot of people will say Elena Beard, but my favorite player from Duke history is Lindsey Harding. So let's be very clear. So I have been a fan for a while. You know what I'm saying? But my Duke girls, they play UConn tomorrow. Not gonna lie, yo. I'm not gonna lie. Paige is a problem. Paige is a fucking problem for UConn. Paige is a fucking problem, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I want Duke girls to win, but you know what I'm saying? As a basketball fan, I love seeing Paige play. You know, she's dope. Before the injury, this is what kills me about it. Before the injury, how people talk about Caitlin Clark, that's how they was talking about Paige. Paige, but I don't want to say her last name because I'm gonna fuck it up. But Paige B, and y'all can look it up for yourself. Paige from UConn. Number 5, if you don't want to look it up. Before injuries last year, because she missed all of last year. Because remember, Caitlin Clark got popping last year, but Paige was gone. Paige was hurt. But before Paige got hurt, Paige was the one that people was talking about. They was talking about Paige like they talking about Caitlin Clark now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to see she back healthy, getting buckets as usual. So, you know, she definitely a problem. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all. Juju Watkins for USC, the freshman. She's WNBA ready right now. Right now. A freshman, second in the country in scoring, 27 points a game. She's NBA ready right now. Excuse me, she's WNBA ready right now. In my opinion, I understand the Caitlin Clarks. I understand the Pages. I understand the Angel Reeses. I understand the girl, the big man or the center from South Carolina. I understand all of this. Juju Watkins is the best player in women's college basketball. I don't want to hear it. And if you disagree, go argue with your mama. I don't care. Juju Watkins is the best player in women's college basketball. That's a fact in my opinion. That's a fact. In my head, it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So I look forward to that. It looked like, you know, we might get a marquee matchup. You know what I'm saying? When I'm looking at these what's names? When I'm looking at these Jones, it's a possibility. So obviously, it looks like we're probably going to, if things go right for the entertainment aspect, we're probably going to get an Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark in the Elite 8, or does it look like Elite? Either the Elite 8 or Final 4. Again, I'm just looking at this shit, so please, if I'm wrong, but it looks like, because both of them are in Regional 2. Are in Region 2, So it looked like, so it looked like we could potentially get an Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark in the Elite 8. It looked like we could get a Juju Watkins and Paige also in the Elite 8. So we could pretend, you know what I mean? So I don't kill me if I got it wrong, you know what I'm saying? But just from what I'm looking at, it looked like the Elite 8 is gonna look kind of crazy. Oh, I know for sure there's 4 regions. So there has to be a regional champion to go to the Final 4. So so it'll, if this happens, it will be an Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark in the Elite 8 to get to the Final 4, because they'll be the last team from Region 2. It'll be Juju Watkins versus Paige to get to the Final 4 out of Region 3. You know what I'm saying? And then tonight we have Texas versus Gonzaga in Region 4. So it looks like NC State won. So NC State will be playing either Gonzaga or Texas in the Elite 8 to be the champion of Region 4. And then of course you have Oregon State in South Carolina, playing in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four for the Region 4. So, I mean, for Region 1. So, yeah, so what it's looking like, we're going to have a star-studded Elite Eight if everything pans out the way the fans wanted to pan out. People want to see Angel Reese, Flajay Johnson, LSU. People want to see Caitlin Clark in Iowa. People want to see Paige and UConn, and people want to see Juju Watkins at USC. And everybody wants to see South Carolina as well. So if everybody gets what they want, we're going to see Angel Reese, Flajay Johnson, LSU versus Caitlin Clark in Iowa in the Elite Eight. That's the matchup, LSU, Iowa, and for Region 2. And then we're also going to get Paige, who's a dog, star, versus Juju Watkins, star. I told you I think Juju Watkins is the best player in women's college basketball. But Juju Watkins and Paige, UConn versus USC, you know what I'm saying, in the Elite Eight. And then we're going to get NC State, and then we got NC State versus, oh, hold on, let me look at it. Hold on. Region 4, I'm tripping. And then we have NC State versus the winner of Gonzaga and Texas tonight. So I'm going to say NC State versus Texas. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for, type deal. And then South Carolina's already in the Elite Eight. And they're already, it's already set. South Carolina's going to be playing Oregon State in the Elite Eight. So we're going to have a star-studded Elite Eight. A star-studded Elite Eight for women's college basketball. On to men's college basketball. My Duke boys play tonight. Not gonna lie to you, man. We playing against Houston. Houston has been really, really good this year. Really, really good. They're aggressive. They don't have any like real superstar, but they're dogs. They play hard. They don't make very much mistakes. They're up paced. They get very physical on defense. They get after it. They move the ball well. They're not a very great shooting team, so most of their points come in the paint inside the 3-point line. Again, they're fast paced. My Duke boys has been struggling. You know, my Duke boys have struggled against elite guard play. Houston has elite guard play. You know, we struggled against RJ Davis. I think it's our name, RJ Davis from North Carolina. We struggled against elite guard play this year. So I'm definitely very worried about that. Purdue, you know, of course, they got the monster in the middle. So, you know, they won today. They beat Gonzaga to advance into the Elite Eight. They definitely are handling their business. I was definitely thoroughly surprised that NC State beat Marquette. Not gonna lie. But anybody that's an ACC historian, the last time that the NC State won the ACC championship, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, they went on to win the national championship. And that's when they had Sidney Lowe was part of that team. That was in the 80s. Sidney Lowe was part of that team and all of that. And they went on to win. It's the same team from their documentary. Rest in peace to their coach too, man, for real. For sure, rest in peace, man. Tennessee's versus Creighton, I don't expect nothing from either one of them. I don't have no faith in neither one of their teams. So this year, I'm going to go in and say my pick. If Duke gets past Houston, I got my Duke boys winning the national championship. And that's dependent on if they beat Houston. If they don't beat Houston, and you know what I'm saying, I got UConn winning the national championship. I got the UConn boys winning the national championship. If Duke don't beat Houston tonight, I got UConn winning the national championship. That's a fact. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably gonna be watching the girls tournament more than I am the guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So But enough of sports. Moving right along. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was trying to avoid talking about this, but it's crazy. This Diddy situation, man. This Diddy situation is out of control. Again, I want to put on the record, he, as of right now, he hasn't been charged with everything. So I'm not running with the narrative that he's on the run because he hasn't been charged with anything. These are all just accusations. He hasn't been charged with anything. A warrant for his arrest has not been put out. You know what I mean? So, yes, it is telling a lot that all three of his homes got raided, which was crazy. It do say a lot that about his private jet being gone. I know the conspiracy theory people are saying that a black powerful man being brought down by by the powers that be because he won't stay in line. People are looking at him suing the liquor company for hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely gonna be crazy. I hold judgment because again, no charges have been found against him. I don't believe that. I'm not one of those that's going to jump on the bandwagon just because a whole bunch of accusations come out. You know what I'm saying? People killed Michael Jackson with those accusations, right? People killed Michael Jackson. He was found innocent, cleared his name, but the damage had already been done. You know what I mean? So, I'm gonna wait to see. I'm gonna wait to see how that goes. Me personally, I don't want to jump the gun and then jump on the bandwagon, and then all of this could be a misunderstanding, or you know what I mean. So, but for the record, if he is found guilty of what he's being accused of, he needs to be right there where R. Kelly at. I'm gonna say that. Speaking of R. Kelly, I got a question for y'all. Does who the person is as a person affect how you listen, affect their music? What I mean is, just because he's a terrible person, have y'all decided to do away with listening to R. Kelly's music? I have an unpopular opinion. I have the unique ability to be able to separate the person from the art. Right? So I look at it like the art is the art, right? I look at it as from a perspective when we listen to love songs, right? The artist, when they're making that song, might be thinking about a certain person, and they might be making a song about that. But us as the consumer, when we listen to it, we apply it to what we apply it to. So if you listen to a love song, you apply it to your girl, you apply it to your man. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to a breakup, you apply it to that ex. You know what I mean? You don't, you know what I'm saying? So you're not sharing the same sentiments, the same thought process as the artist. You know what I mean? So it's just like some people will say, well, it's discussing the fact that he was making all those sex songs about kids, you know what I'm saying? And he was doing the stuff with kids that, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't give a fuck who he was talking to. I'm only saying that now because he's in jail, right? I don't give a fuck who any of these artists are talking about or talking to in their music. When I listen to it, I put it towards my life, right? I just listen to it. And I apply it in how the message applies in my life. So if you're talking about love, I'm gonna think about who I love. If you talk hate, I'm gonna think about who I hate. You know what I mean? So it's not, I don't share the same thing. I just change it and apply it to my life, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I can separate the person from the art. You know what I'm saying? He's an amazing artist. In the verses, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see nobody beating R. Kelly in the verses. But he's a despicable person. And I totally agree with him being where he's at. You know what I'm saying? And I respect the people that can't do that. I respect the people that they can't separate the two. Because then I understand. I get that. You know what I mean? So I understand that, okay. I get that. So I think that I think that um I think that with stuff like that is very new. You got to respect. I can respect it, even though I might not agree with it. I understand and I can respect people's perspective. You know what I mean? Like if I'm riding in the car and someone don't feel comfortable listening to R. Kelly, of course I will respect that and turn it off. But I would be lying if I said I don't. And don't get me wrong, I don't listen to R. Kelly all the time. I don't listen. Of course, I don't listen to R. Kelly all the time. Um, but what I'm saying, I do still listen to R. Kelly, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people that decide to listen to R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? For that matter. So yeah. Um, but with this Diddy thing, definitely, I feel like with this Diddy thing is definitely something to look out for. It's definitely something to not look forward to, but to keep monitoring to see what develops and what comes from it. You know what I mean? And then once a verdict comes out, once everything has come out, pause, it sounds crazy, but once everything comes out, you know what I mean? Then we can give a proper opinion of it. You know what I mean? Keeping it in music, um, that Kendrick Lamar verse, man. It's been a couple of days. I've listened to it maybe 15 times now. Um, I don't believe Drake is a part of this. I think Drake has went total commercial, which is nothing wrong with that. I think the lyrical, the essence of hip hop, the competitiveness, the battle portion of the battle part of it. I think that Drake has moved on from that. I don't think that, he even said it. He even said it. The way I used to rap, I don't know how to rap like that no more. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't see Drake responding on record. So this opinion doesn't apply to Drake. But J. Cole, you gotta holler at me, bro. You from North Carolina. You from Fayetteville. You about 45 minutes from my crib, nigga. Raleigh, North Carolina, man. I need you to respond immediately, bro. These snippets of you might delete later. These freestyles. Nah, we need a response, bro. You can't be rapping the way you've been rapping lately, claiming that you the best in the world, that can't nobody fuck with you, and then one of the motherfuckers that other people think is the best in the world comes out, fires at you. You gotta respond, J. Cole. I ain't gonna say you gotta respond, but as a fan, we feel like you gotta respond, bro. We ready to see the competitiveness. We ready to see it. And I love the fact that when he shot at you, he kept it rap. He shot at you, he ain't hit you on the personal nothing. He shot at you, just kept it rap. I'm better than you. There ain't no big three. It's just big me. Like, I'm better than you niggas. J. Cole, you gotta talk your shit, bro. You gotta talk your shit, bro. You gonna be looked at a completely different way. You on a run. If you don't respond, it's gonna look like Kendrick ended your run, and that's crazy. That's crazy. No cap. You know what I'm saying? So I think, J. Cole, you definitely got to answer, just because of how you've been rapping and what you've been saying in your raps. You said on First Person Shooter you feel like you're the Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali is widely considered as the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So you got to back that up. Muhammad Ali didn't duck no smoke. Muhammad Ali did not duck no smoke. Joe Frazier, you know what it is. Sonny Liston, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? He ain't duck no smoke. So you feel me? You got George Foreman, you know what it is. You know what I mean? So you gotta definitely, if you're gonna be Muhammad Ali, you gotta get in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier were cool, but they still got in that ring. You dig what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like J. Cole got to answer, man. And I think he will. I think J. Cole is lyrically equipped to do that. I think Drake, I'm not going to discount Drake, but I think Drake is so far-fetched from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so far away from rapping like that. Like Drake, my boy Dre said, like, that 5 a.m. in Toronto, Drake. We talking like that's 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's 10 years ago. 6 p.m. in New York, that's years ago. That's like a decade. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you really gotta Drake hasn't rapped like that in a while. He hasn't rapped like that in a while. People forgetting. It's been so long. It's been quick though. That back-to-back Drake on me, that ain't working with Kendrick. You can't do that with Kendrick. Kendrick is ready to rap. And he can rap with the best of them. So, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, with Future on there, that might be the song of the summer, man. I ain't gonna cap. That might be the song of the summer. No funny shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely look forward to seeing where that goes. For the ladies out there, you know what I mean? I saw that Megan Thee Stallion has a Hot Girl Summer tour and she gonna have Glorilla going. Glorilla, that Yeah Glow song, she dropped it at the right time and she's going on tour with it with Meg Thee Stallion. I know the baddies are gonna be going crazy on that tour. You know what I'm saying? So, and they doing arenas. You know what I'm saying? So for all the baddies out there, man, like definitely if you decide to go, man, be safe for sure. You know what I mean? Drake is still on tour right now. I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of funny. Drake did he just came off tour, said that he's gonna take a break, then decided to bring Cole to go to the cities that he missed on the first tour, and then it turned into a whole new tour. J. Cole leaves because he has to do Dreamville Fest. Everybody in North Carolina though, if you're going, hey, be safe. Please be safe. You know what I'm saying? Be safe. No cap. I know it get real. I know it get real out there. Please be safe if you're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But I know he gonna have that Dreamville Fest. It's gonna be crazy. I think Nicki Minaj supposed to be out there. Of course he gonna be out there. It's gonna be a whole motherfucking a lot of people out there. So for all the people that's going, please be safe, man. Dreamville Fest is a great time. I know it's a great time, but for all of y'all, please be safe. Please be safe. You know what I mean? What else in music, man? Cardi. I think Cardi got a project coming. Shout out to Cardi. You know what I mean? I think it's time for her to come back. You know, I know it's been a minute since she dropped the project. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, Lotto still doing her thing. That Sunday service is hard. No cap. I know I'm a little bit late. It's been out, but that Sunday service is hard. You know what I'm saying? Got a question for y'all. How y'all feel about Ice Spice? Do y'all feel like she in the game for the long run, or do y'all feel like she's just gonna be one of those pop up, have a hot 2-3 years and be gone? You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely interested to see how her career pans out. You know what I'm saying? She definitely is one of the younger artists. And she got everything. She got all the younger demo, and when I say demo, meaning demographic, she got them on lock. She got anywhere from 15 to 25. She got that demo on lockdown. You know what I mean? So I definitely hope that her career pans out in a good way. I hope she gets a long run, but I definitely am interested to see how long her run goes. You know what I mean? So for sure. As far as rap, Lil Baby just dropped something. I know the memes. People are killing Lil Baby. I ain't gonna cap. They killing him about that picture. Excuse me. They killing my boy about that picture. Ever since that picture, they said he been mid. And if you don't know what the picture I'm talking about, just go on Twitter or X, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Since the picture, they said he been mid. And I'll be honest with you, he has been mid. You know what I mean? So I definitely will. I'm definitely excited for him. I hope he comes back. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I got a question for everybody listening, man. Please put in the comments, man. right now, who y'all listening to right now? Who's your top three in rotation right now? I'll tell y'all my top three. My top three is not going to be nowhere close to what y'all top three is. So bear with me. Again, I'm a little bit older, so you know what I mean. But I always got Jay-Z's always in my top three. So I got Jay-Z, J. Cole, DMX. Those are my top three. Those are not my top three favorite, but those are my top three in my playlist. That's my bag right now. You know what I mean? So, those are the three that I'm going to listen to at least two of them every single day. You know what I'm saying? Two of those three are going to be getting listened to every single day. You know what I mean? So definitely for sure, man. But yes, man. So what we talked about today, man, we went over, Godzilla versus Kong, the new movie, man. Again, sorry for the spoilers. Again, if you listen to what I said at the beginning, if you make it to this, hopefully you get to this part after you've already watched the movie. You know what I'm saying? So you can understand what I was talking about. But yeah, man, that wraps up another episode of Sports Fashion Podcast, man. Again, I'm your host, Deeflamez, man. You can find me on Instagram, Deeflamez with a Z _. So DEEFLAMEZ _. And then for the podcast, man, please follow the podcast at Sports Fashion Podcast, man. That's where you're going to get all the clips. That's where you're going to get all the updates. That's where you're going to get everything that you need to know for this podcast, man. I'm really excited for what's to come. Big moves. Please follow the Sports Fashion Podcast Instagram, man. You're going to see a lot of announcements and updates, a lot of changes. We're going to have more guests. You know what I mean? So please follow. If you're on YouTube or any other streaming service, please like, comment, please subscribe, please share. We need all of that. You know what I mean? And I want to thank anybody that came through, anybody that makes it to this part of the video. I know the attention span. I know this video is pretty long. I think it's going to probably run like a little bit over an hour after we finish it. But anybody that make it to this part of the video, I want to appreciate you. You took the time to really tap in with me, watch me, you know what I'm saying? And this is just the beginning. I cherish everybody that taps in the show support in the beginning. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. And until next time, y'all stay blessed, y'all stay safe, and I'll holla at you.
I can't lie, I feel blessed. 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 I can't lie, I feel blessed.